Dear students, I am G. Navin Kumar, lecturer in botany, Government Degree College Bodhan, and in this video I will tell you about bacteria. So this lesson is for BSc Botany first year students, first semester. So bacteria. So generally we know that bacteria are microorganisms. They are invisible microorganisms. We cannot see them with naked eye. They can be seen under microscope only. And and the science which deals with the study of bacteria is called bacteriology. And the scientists who works on bacteria are called bacteriologists. And the bacteria's existence is revealed to the world by Anton van Leeuwenhoek. So we know him, Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Uh, he is very famous scientist, and discovered, he invented simple microscope with a lens. And also he observed, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, he observed various types of microorganisms with the lens or microscope prepared by him. And he observed many microorganisms and he called them as animalcules. And the word microbe is introduced by Sedilat. So Sedilat, he was a French scientist and doctor, and this word, the term microbe, is introduced by him for the first time in 1878. And the keen observation and study of microorganisms is started by Louis Pasteur and Robert Koch. And we know very well about Louis Pasteur, and he is also called father of microbiology, and he invented a vaccine for rabies. And Louis Pasteur, he also proposed germ theory of diseases, in which it is stated that diseases are spread through microorganisms. So this is called as the germ theory of diseases. It is proposed by Louis Pasteur. And Robert Koch, he proved germ theory of diseases experimentally. And Robert Koch also, he worked a lot on microorganisms. So in this way, Robert Koch proved germ theory of diseases experimentally. So for his enormous work on microorganisms, Robert Koch is awarded Nobel Prize. And and so bacteria. Now we are discussing bacteria. So generally we discuss bacteria in botany. So sometimes we may get a doubt that why we are studying about bacteria in botany, right? Sometimes we may get doubt, this kind of doubt, every one of us. So why bacteria are kept in plant kingdom? Why we are studying about bacteria in plant science or in botany? Means So this bacterium cell or bacteria, they possess some specific characters which are related to the plants. So that's why these bacteria are being studied in botany, or the bacteria are kept in plant kingdom. So let us see the characters, on what basis bacteria are kept in plant kingdom. Let us see. The main important feature or character is presence of prominent cell wall. So in bacteria we can find uh, around the bacteria, around the bacterium cell, we can find a prominent cell wall. So generally, so presence of a prominent cell wall is the main characteristic feature of a plant cell. So here, so this bacterium cell is surrounded by a prominent cell wall. So because of having prominent cell wall, this bacteria is placed in plant kingdom. This is one point. And bacteria, they are capable of synthesizing amino acids from inorganic nitrogen. And some autotrophic bacteria, they are also capable of synthesizing organic substances by using CO2 and H2O. So it is the common phenomenon in plants. In photosynthesis, what happens? So in photosynthesis, in plants, so generally plants, they synthesize organic substances like starch by using CO2 and H2O in presence of light. So in bacteria also, autotrophic bacteria, they also synthesize organic substances like plants by using CO2 and H2O. And also bacteria, they are capable of absorbing nutrients in soluble form like plants. So plants also absorb nutrients from the soil. The plants absorb nutrients in soluble form. So here bacteria also, they are capable of absorbing nutrients in soluble form. And bacteria, they are also capable of preparing required vitamins themselves. And bacteria, they behave like other thallophytes in reproduction. So dear students, you see here, so in fungi, for example, yeast. So if we see the reproduction method of a bacteria, so some methods of reproduction of bacteria resembles with fungi. For example, yeast. So in yeast reproduces asexually by producing buds, and also by binary fission. So in the same way, the bacteria also reproduce by binary fission and also by budding. So in this way, in some in reproduction methods, so the bacteria, they behave like the fungi, like a yeast. So how the reproduction takes place in yeast, so same takes place. In the same way, bacteria reproduces. So in this way, bacteria, they behave like fungi, like thallophytes in reproduction. And also uh, bacteria, the bacterial cell wall, in bacteria, cell wall is made up of chitin. Other chemical substances are also present in bacterium cell wall, but chitin is also present. So means, so generally chitin, so this chemical substance chitin is present in uh, cell wall of fungal members. So here in bacteria also chitin is present in the cell wall. So in this way bacteria resembles fungi in having chitin cell wall. And bacteria, so generally we consider bacteria as prokaryotes. And uh, you also know the blue green algae. So blue green algae, so these blue green algae, they are also prokaryotes. So here, so these bacteria, they resemble blue green algae. So in the means in the structure of their cell wall and cellular organelles, cell organelles, and cellular chemical components. So in all these aspects, bacteria, they resemble blue green algae. So based on these features, bacteria are placed in plant kingdom. And now let us discuss let us know about the occurrence and habitat of bacteria. So generally bacteria, they are cosmopolitan in distribution. So cosmopolitan means bacteria, they are distributed everywhere. They can survive in all types of environments, all types of conditions. They live in soil and water, and they live in air also. So for example, rhizobium and nitrosomonas. So these bacteria, they live in soil. And salmonella bacteria, example for uh, the bacteria which lives in water. And some bacteria, they live in air, for example bacillus. And some of the bacteria, they also live in decomposing organic matter. So the bacteria which are living in decomposing organic matter are called saprophytes, saprophytic bacteria. And these bacteria, they can also survive at lowest temperatures. So even at minus 190 degrees centigrade temperature also they can live, they can survive at that much lowest temperature, cold temperatures also. And some of the bacteria, they can survive, they can live at high temperatures also. Almost they can survive at 75 degrees centigrade temperature also. So in this way we can understand that bacteria can survive in any kind of environment, whether the environment may be cold or it may be hot. So different types of bacteria, some bacteria, they can survive at very cold temperatures, and some other bacteria, they can survive at very high temperatures like 75 degrees centigrade temperature also. Some bacteria, they can survive. So in this way, so the bacteria which grow in high temperatures, they are called thermophilic bacteria. And the bacteria which grow in cold temperatures are called psychrophilic bacteria. So, and based on the uh, this temperature in which bacteria are living, we can classify them. We can classify the bacteria as two types: thermophilic and psychrophilic. And we can also find some bacteria in our body also, right? So, for example, Escherichia coli. So, we can find this Escherichia coli in intestine. It lives in human intestine, E. coli bacteria, Escherichia coli. And some bacteria, they grow as symbionts with plants. So, the rhizobium example, it is a well-known example, rhizobium. So, rhizobium, it lives in the root nodules of legume plants. So, what it does, rhizobium? So, this rhizobium, it converts it fixes atmospheric nitrogen, and it in this way it this rhizobium bacteria, it converts the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates and nitrites. So, and these nitrates and nitrites are taken up by the plants. So, in this way plants nitrogen requirement will be fulfilled, and this rhizobium bacterium, it gets shelter from the legume plants by uh, living in the root nodules of such plants. So, in this way rhizobium, it lives as symbiont with legume plants. And also there are some other bacteria which grow as parasites on human, animals, and also on plants. So, dear students, next we will discuss about the size and shape of bacteria. So, the size of so as we discussed, the bacteria are very minute. They are, we cannot uh, see them with the naked eye. They are very minute organisms, and the bacteria size uh, vary. The size ranges from nanometers, several nanometers to millimeters, micrometers, right? So, bacteria show diversity in their size. So, the and here one thing we know, that in a drop of water we can find several millions of bacteria. So, based on this we can understand how the how much the bacteria are, how much minute the bacteria are. So, even a single drop of water, it contains several millions of bacteria. So, that much minute the bacteria. So, and also uh, the biggest bacteria is Theomargarita namibiensis. So, this Theomargarita namibiensis is the biggest bacteria. The size of this bacteria ranges from 100 to 300 micrometers, and the Mycoplasma genitalium is the smallest bacteria, and the diameter of this smallest bacteria is 200 to 300 nanometers. And also the bacteria are four types based on their shape. So, based on their shape, bacteria are classified into four types. So, the first one is the cocci. and bacilli and spirulina, and the last one is vibrio. So you can see here on the screen, you can see cocci. Cocci bacteria means spherical bacteria. Spherical or round shaped bacteria, they are called cocci. Round shaped bacteria are called cocci, and rod shaped bacteria, they are called bacilli. So means here bacilli means rod shaped bacteria, and then spirulina means spiral shaped bacteria. Long spiral shaped bacteria are called spirulina. And interestingly, there are some bacteria in comma shape. So these comma shaped bacteria are called vibrio. So this generally the bacteria vibrio cholera, it causes uh, cholera diseases, cholera disease, right? So in this way, bacteria are four types based on their shape. Cocci means round shaped bacteria, round bacteria or spherical bacteria. So we can you can also see on the screen. So bacteria diagrams are given on this screen. Clear diagram is there on the screen. So round shaped bacteria are called cocci, and rod shaped bacteria are also there on the screen, and spirulina is also there, and vibrio means comma shaped bacteria. So in this way, bacteria are four types. Bacteria are classified into four types based on their shape. Round shaped bacteria are cocci, rod shaped bacteria are called bacilli, and long spiral bacteria are called spirulina, and comma shaped bacteria are called vibrio. And then these cocci bacteria means spherical or round bacteria. They are classified into uh, five types. Cocci are classified into five types. They are monococcus, diplococcus, streptococcus, sarcina, and staphylococcus. So here monococcus bacteria or monococcus means single spherical bacteria. So that single spherical bacteria is called as the monococcus. So sometimes uh, two uh, cocci bacteria or two round shaped bacteria, they are looking together in a pair. So the pair of two round shaped bacteria is called diplococcus. And next streptococcus. Streptococcus means spherical bacteria, they looking like a chain. So bacteria, cocci bacteria, they get attached to one another and they form a chain like structure. So this chain of some cocci bacteria is called streptococcus. And sarcina. So sarcina means it's a group of eight spherical bacteria, eight cocci bacteria, sarcina. So here you can also see the several types of cocci bacteria on this screen. A clear image or a picture is also there on the screen. You can see several types of monococcus, diplococcus, streptococcus bacteria, and sarcina is also uh, there on the screen. And the last one is staphylococcus. Staphylococcus bacteria. So this staphylococcus bacteria means uh, in this staphylococcus means there are several number of spherical bacteria. They look like a bunch of uh, bacteria in irregular shape. Staphylococcus means a bunch of spherical bacteria. Next, and there are so in this way, most of the bacteria they have specific shape, but some bacteria even after though they have specific shape, they present in multiple forms. Some bacteria, not all bacteria, some bacteria, though they are having a specific shape, sometimes they occur in multiple forms. So this kind of bacteria which are present in multiple forms are so and that phenomenon is called as the pleomorphism. For example, Estobacter. So this bacteria Estobacter, it is the best example for pleomorphism. So here we can understand pleomorphism means so bacteria occur in multiple forms. So that phenomenon is called as the pleomorphism, and Estobacter is the example for this pleomorphism. So here now we have discussed the several types of cocci bacteria. So in the same way, bacillus bacteria means rod-shaped bacteria also classified into three types. They are monobacillus, diplobacillus, and streptobacillus. So as we have studied or discussed about cocci, so here in bacillus also monobacillus means single rod-shaped bacteria, and diplobacillus means a pair of rod-shaped bacteria. So two rod-shaped bacteria. So there that pair is called as the diplobacillus, and streptobacillus means a chain of rod-shaped bacteria. So chain of rod-shaped bacteria is called streptobacillus. So in this way, bacillus bacteria are also uh, grouped or classified into three types. They are monobacillus, diplobacillus, and streptobacillus.